Hey, everybody, welcome to WCAX Extra. This is our live dev streaming show. Peter, it's the weekend. We're here.
Yes.
It's Friday. These next couple weeks are going to be a big one for a lot of people in Vermont, especially headed out to see some foliage, go apple picking, and to pick their pumpkins. Maybe a little bit bigger than this one. I actually stole this one off of our morning producer's desk. But speaking of ones especially bigger than this, I actually made a trip down to Springfield this week to see kind of what it takes to grow these giant pumpkins. So these are the ones that you're seeing at the fair.
Yeah.
Huge.
When we say bigger, we mean a lot bigger.
They're really big. 1,500 pounds, 2,000 pounds. I was talking to this guy down there, Wilbur Horton.
Yeah.
He's made numerous appearances at Champlain Valley Fair, some weigh-ins around here, farm stands.
Yep.
And these things are huge.
Huge.
It was really cool to go out there and it's a lot of TLC for lack of a better term there, because it's a lot of watering, a lot of constantly drying, trying to make sure spraying, I don't know if it was vinegar or something on these these like mold spots and rot spots that obviously you don't want those to go bad. But it was really cool. We'll show you the story in just a second. But yeah, to see the size of these things in person,
it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And the one thing I did ask him, and I asked him this more kind of off the cuff, I was like, hey, is there anything, do you guys do like a big pumpkin pie?
Giant pumpkin
pie or a big jack-o'-lantern? And he's saying the pumpkins, aren't great for doing baking and all that stuff. They're going to be out for a while. But he did say that one of his first years, I think we aired it in the morning, it's not in this story, but the first years he did it, he did make a jack-o'-lantern, but it was with a chainsaw. So basically just going to town on this thing.
So your typical kitchen knife won't do it on these.
No, but he said it made a huge mess. Like, it was fun for the moment, but he typically now does not do that. But yeah, it'd be cool. I would almost be tempted. You mentioned this on the show a couple days ago. We should just grow it out back.
I said on the air yesterday, and I don't know if my general manager heard us on the air or not, that I want to rededicate the WCAX orchard to growing giant pumpkins.
Growing giant pumpkins, yeah. I'd love to. The one other thing is, too, I forgot to say that he he just takes the seeds out, lets them kind of let them rot, and kind of fertilize the soil again. But he does do this regatta, so I think either he sells them or gives them away afterwards. And they'll carve them out, and then they'll row across somewhere in New Hampshire.
Oh, that's
He
awesome.
mentioned to me when we were packing up, and now I totally don't remember. But definitely really fun.
I think we need to find out where this is and send you back out there.
Yeah, I know separately, there's like an MIT thing. This was years ago, but they were trying to raise money for the lab and did the same thing. So they carved out this giant pumpkin, and they rowed across the Charles River.
Oh, that's
in Boston.
awesome.
So they do float, evidently. But anyway, we'll pull this up in just a sec. It's, again, high time for pumpkins, and especially if you've got a lot of time and a lot of care on your hands, you're going to be growing one of these guys. Up a dirt road in Springfield lies a pumpkin patch home to some gargantuan gourds.
This one weighed in at 1,557 pounds.
Pumpkins better fit for a forklift than your front stoop. But what does it take to get them giant-sized?
I'm usually here about every day in the evening, either burying vines, checking the plants. It's like another full-time job, really, if you're going to grow a bunch of them.
An electrical engineer by trade, Wilbur Horton bides the rest of his time in the patch.
Usually I start early April and start them in the house under grow lights. Then at the same time we're preparing the patch. We're getting all what we want to amend it with, the fertilizers, the organic matter.
Once in the patch, they're constantly watered, dried, and covered to keep away pests. But growing big pumpkins doesn't come without big problems.
This one actually started going bad. I was scraping off the rot spot, and it kept getting deeper into the pumpkin. In this case, you see all the little black spots on it. It started spreading over the whole pumpkin. I had like a dozen little small black spots, and at that point I knew it was going to go down.
Still, Horton keeps plugging along, banking on his other pumpkins to get beyond big.
It's a heartbreaker. That's why I grow so many. I lose a tendency up to about half of them will go
For pumpkins that do make it through the season unscathed, they're carefully loaded onto pallets, and it's off to weigh-offs across the state.
It's completely a weight game, not a beauty game. So this one isn't the prettiest pumpkin I've grown, but it's a heavy pumpkin.
Once weighed, the behemoths are brought back or sold, but not before scooping out some seeds for next year. For any prospective giant pumpkin growers, Horton has some words of wisdom.
Try it. And once you get the bug, you'll start trying to get it bigger.
In Springfield, John McMahon, Channel 3 News. Really had to twist my arm for that one. I really didn't want it. No, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think another thing, too, those are Atlantic giant pumpkins. So
and you talked about how much the seed costs.
Yeah, so I originally was under the impression that these seeds were pretty expensive, and he had said the price of seeds has kind of fluctuated a little bit.
Yeah.
I had an old boss years ago, and he wanted to grow them, and it was like, at the time, this was, paraphrasing, was like $50, $60. But they're $10 a suit, and I think a lot of these people in the...
I mean, that's still pricey for...
Yeah, well, he was telling me that a lot of the members of the Vermont Giant Pumpkin Growers Association, they all share, they all know each other.
Yeah.
So it's the seeds now, to be really clear, is they're about $10.
I mean,
I would spend $10.
I would say the giant pumpkin growing community is probably a tight knit community.
Yeah. No, but they're honestly they're very very nice people. Spoke to him. Spoke to their president of the Vermont Giant Pumpkin Growers Association. This guy Ethan. Really nice, and honestly, it makes for great TV, and
that's
again,
awesome.
Seeing these things was really cool. So,
yeah, and you did like a photo shoot with them after.
Yeah, so that was a funny thing. So me and our photographer, our Vic, we're out there, and we're doing the dance.
Yeah.
Getting our story done, and then at the end, I was like, can I have a picture with the pumpkin? So it was, for as much fun as it was for us, it was definitely a cool story as well.
That's so awesome.
And that being said, Peter, for people getting a pumpkin today, not this one. What's the? Give me just a quick.
Yeah.
What the weather's looking like.
The weather, you know what, not looking too bad here.
Yeah.
Today, probably going to be a pretty nice day out there. I think a few more clouds than what we saw yesterday, but still a good amount of sunshine. Temperatures still going to be very warm.
Yeah.
Low to mid 70s out there, so keep in mind that's about 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year.
Yeah, and two things I wanted to touch on. We got, we're pretty much at or near peak foliage.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned a little bit of snow.
Yeah.
Higher elevation wise.
Higher elevation wise. Yeah. We're talking about a series of two cold fronts. So one cold front comes in through tonight and into the early morning hours tomorrow. That knocks down our temperatures here for the weekend. But the weekend forecast still pretty nice. A good amount of sunshine.
Yeah.
Temperatures in the 60s. So about where we should be for this time of year.
Yeah.
Then a second, more powerful cold front. That's Sunday night and into the day on Monday. That's really going to knock down the temperatures because by the time we get to midweek next week, most of us talking daytime highs in the 50s, overnight lows, 30s and lower 40s. But then think about the higher elevations.
Yeah.
We're talking the summit of Mount Mansfield here, the Adirondacks, the Whiteface.
Yeah.
We could be talking a little bit of snow.
So I want to touch on that. And this is kind of, we'll end on this too, Peter. A little deep tease for you.
Yep.
Where are you going to be at noon?
I'm actually going to the top of Mount Mansfield for the noon show today. I said to the bosses, I'm getting a little bit bored. Let's get out of the studio.
We'll look forward to seeing you there, and hopefully our cell connection is on.
I think we'll have that backed up.
Seeing we'll be right next to the tower. Anyway,
if we can't do it from our own transmitter up there, then we have issues.
Yeah. Anyway, so you'll see me here at noon, and then you'll see Peter on top of a mountain. But of course, that's when you'll see him and I next. Of course, you can see all of our content, WCAX.com, and all of evening shows, tonight. So that in mind, get outside today, grab yourself one of these, get some apple picking, foliage.
Enjoy the weekend.
Everything.
I mean, it's going to be great.
Really, it's going to be a great time. I think two more things too. A couple of some good events coming up too. Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival.
The Sheep and Wool Festival. We've got the Montpelier Arts Festival. A lot of good things happening.
So definitely take advantage of it. So Peter, thanks so much.
Yep.
With that in mind, we'll let you get to it.